Hey guys, what's up? Scottish Duck here once again. Okay, got another collection update for you right here. I just came out of the bath there, that's why my hair looks a bit wet. You can like see my balding even more than regular now, but whatever. That's what happens when you get old. Speaking of old, first game I'm going to show you here today is, well, I'll just say, for those of you who missed it, my last video was me unboxing my new console, the Atari 2600. Some of you actually pointed out that I left a space here for like all my 2600 games now, so yeah. I'll put a wee link to the I'll put a wee annotation linky thingy here so that you can watch it. Basically, I got like 16 games with it, so they're now part of my collection, and I got this right here as well. Adventure for the Atari 2600. The name of this fucking, I find it so hilarious, because I know what type of game this is, and it's an adventure game, so they're like, oh well, what sort of game do you want to do? How about one where you go on an adventure? Oh, let's call it Adventure, and that's exactly what they did. But I got a question about this one actually. As you can see right here, this is a pretty plain cover. Now, I've got a few Atari games that have this plain cover, but I've noticed that sometimes they can have like a counterpart, like I have two right here. Space Invaders, you know, same sort of plain cover, but here's Space Invaders again, but it's got a nice cool little illustration to go with it, you know? And I've played both of them. One of them is slightly faster and the colours are different, but other than that, it's pretty much the same game. Can anybody explain to me what the difference with these is? You know, like, why are there multiple versions of the same game on Atari? Because I know that an illustrated version of Adventure does exist, because I bought this before knowing it, because otherwise, you know, these ones with the illustrations, you know, they're a lot better, they're a lot nicer looking, you know, so I was a little bit gutted about that, but whatever. Another Atari game to have right there. Okay, next up, right, I suppose I'll get this out of the way. I've already done a video on this, Devil's Third. Still quite happy that I picked this up, you know. Still even more happy that I picked it up used. You know, microtransactions, they're sort of back in the news at the moment, are they? With Tomb Raider and, what else is it? There was another game, not Star Wars, although Star Wars is getting bullshit. Fuck. There was another game that's just coming out that has bullshit microtransactions. I can't even remember what it is, but I'm sure it won't be the last for a while. But yeah, Devil's Third. I like this game, I really do. Okay, now quite exciting for me here actually. I increased, like, I've been playing a lot of Mega Drive this week. You know, I've beaten like 8 games, like in the past couple of weeks actually. And I also finally got around to playing my Sega CD, which I've had for a good while now, you know, and it was only like a wee while ago there that I bought Sonic CD, and that was the only Sega CD game I had, and I finally had a wee play of it, you know? So I've increased my Sega CD collection by 300%. I've went from 1 game to 4. Well, sort of. The first game I got right here is Soul Feast. Now, I think that this game's claim to fame, and this is the only reason I knew its existence, was that it was actually featured in Angry Video Game Nerd's Sega CD video. Of which I disagree with, by the way. I really like the Sega CD, but just saying that. I think it's a good thing. I don't want to ever get a 32X though, just throwing this out there. And yeah, it's a decent 2D shooter, you know, I had a bit of fun with it. And I really love those games that have like the, you know, early FMV style anime cutscenes with the really bad dubs. They need a bad dub, you know? And this game's opening is just like that, you know? And it looks so cool, you know? I know that Sega CD games are more famous for their full motion video live action shit, but that's sort of same style but with anime. It's so much nicer to look at, you know? So I really like the game a lot more for that. And this game's also on the Mega Drive, and it goes for like 40 quid. I got this for a tenner. You know, and I can't see how the Mega Drive version would be better than this, especially with that cool opening, you know? But whatever. One thing that makes it also more perplexing that this was cheaper was that it's a double. That's why I said kinda at the beginning. So here we have, what is this one called? Cobra Command. Now, this one's a full FMV game as far as I can tell, you know. A little cartoon is playing out and you just hit the button at the right time, so that's more Sega CD-esque than Soul Feast. But it was alright, you know, it was cool, but I'm glad I had to have this now. And the other Sega CD game I got is, right, before any of you say it, yes, I paid an arm and a leg for it. In fact, fucking Snatcher. I got into, like, this has actually never happened to me before, right? I got into a proper, like, eBay bidding war on this game, you know, like, I put too much of my pride behind it, you know, like, in the last 30 seconds of an eBay auction ending, I'm like, no, fuck you, bid up! Then he would bid again, no, fuck you, bid again, you know, it's like, and I used to think I was smarter than that, you know, I used to be able to think that, like, I'll know not to pay too much, but when the auction ended and I won it, I was like, yes! And then I sort of thought about how much I actually paid for it, and I'm like, oh, shit, you know, it was quite expensive, you know, I'm not gonna say what, but it was expensive. And I just beat this the other night there, and I gotta say, right, I also, let me just get it out here, right? One game that, you know, I guess you can all be jealous of my ownership of is Panzer Dragoon Saga. I remember I bought this with my very first, you know, paycheck when I got my job. I was like, right, fuck it, I'm buying Panzer Dragoon Saga. I've not played it yet, you know, I've not played Panzer Dragoon Saga yet, and it could be shite. That's the thing, I might not enjoy Panzer Dragoon Saga, but I like owning it in any case, you know? And Snatcher, it's kind of the same thing, you know, extremely rare game. Even if I didn't like it, it would have been nice to own it. But I really liked this. This was a wonderful game. Why the fuck hasn't Konami re-released this yet? Like, I know Konami is shit, but it's only really had that mega shit reputation in the past few months, you know, at least to the extent that everybody's talking about and making hashtags about how shit they are. But, you know, since the beginning of last generation, Konami's existed, digital distribution has existed. You have HD versions of Metal Gear games and Zone of the Enders games, you know, Kojima's shit. Why didn't you do this? This warrants a sort of like HD remake or just port in any fashion so much. It is really, really, really good. I enjoyed this a lot, and I intend to make a whole video about it shortly after this one, actually. Just talking, gushing about it, you know. So Snatcher, this is the only way you can play this unless you emulate it. In fact, emulate it. Just fucking emulate this game. It really is worth it. I really cannot praise Snatcher highly enough, and I really want to try playing Police Knots at some point. The fan translation, that is. Excuse me, right. Last three games here, kind of want to talk about these in a oneer. I have Tales of Zestiria, Dragon Quest Heroes, and Disgaea 5, and it's coming out there, right. Okay, I intend to play all of these games in a row, along with, because I've had this for a while and I've still not played it, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD. We all bought this for the Final Fantasy 15 demo, you know, and we didn't actually play the real game, but yeah. I'm planning to just have a JRPG-a-thon with my PS4 now, you know? I'm gonna play all these games one after the other. Right now, I'm playing through this, and I'm really liking it. Square Enix are being arseholes with it when it comes to, like, streaming it and stuff. Like, to a laughable extent, to the point where they could probably flag this video and put a watermark in the corner here saying copyrighted Square Enix. Like, I don't know if that's a YouTube thing or only when you're capturing off your PS4 using the game capture thingy. But they're doing shit like that, you know, they want you to know so hard. It's like, oh no, it's not enough that we content ID your Dragon Quest Heroes videos, we want you to know that all rights are fucking reserved. All those rights are reserved, and don't you forget it. Fuck off, Squares. Yeah, Tales of Zestiria, I'm kind of like, I'm gonna go into this like, with a bit of caution, to be honest, you know? There's just a lot of things about this game that I've been hearing, coupled with the fact that I'm actually getting a bit sick. Well, not sick, that's really harsh. I'm Tails is starting to get a tad samey to me, you know? So, yeah, I'm gonna go in with this with a bit of caution, so we'll see how it comes out though. And Disgaea 5, I own all the Disgaea games. I actually own multiple versions of most of the Disgaea games. I haven't played a single one of them yet. I keep meaning to because I hear so many good things about it. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna pop this in because as far as I know, if people could correct this actually, just so I know for certain, all the numbered Disgaea games have their own story. They all take place in the same universe, but they tell their own story, so you don't have to play them in order. The only exception to that was Disgaea D2 for the PS3, which is actually a sequel to the first Disgaea. I think that's all that it is. But yeah, this one's looks really nice, you know. Again, I've admired Disgaea for so long. Maybe it was my sort of strategy RPG fear that I used to have that was like stopping me from getting more into it. But that's all gone now, so I intend to play this game and really enjoy it, so yeah. Right, that's that guys. Lots of nice games. I don't know what else I'm going to be buying by the end of the year because this was an expensive month. I treated myself way too much this year. This month I should say, so I'm gonna try and take it, I'm gonna try and pace myself a bit more, you know? Because I ain't made of money, okay? I gotta be more responsible and shit, so yeah. With that said, see you after guys, thanks for watching. Bye bye.